Hello everyone and welcome to Croatia. We are currently in the Istrian Peninsula, specifically in Pula, and we've literally just arrived not long ago. You guys might have not heard of this area because I feel like it's not as touristy as some of the other areas in Croatia like Dubrovnik, Split, Hvar. We are going to go to those places, but this is actually the area that Braden's heritage is from, which is really cool. So you may have heard me say in videos in the past that we were meant to be doing a family reunion with Braden's Canadian extended family over in Pula, in the very top of Croatia, so the Istrian Peninsula. But in the end that didn't end up happening, so we still came just us two, and we were like, you know what, let's just come, it'll be fun to see where your background's from and stuff. Anyway, you're probably wondering where I am, where I'm starting this off, but I was like, I have to start it off right now because we're in the coolest place. We're actually in a Roman amphitheatre. Did I say it really weird? A Roman amphitheatre. It was built at the same time as the Colosseum, and it's actually the only one standing with all four walls. It's really, really cool actually, and they do a lot of concerts in here apparently. So let's flip the camera around and show you where we are. It's the next day. We have come for breakfast at a place called Backyard Breakfast and Dinner, I think. It's really good. Basically we paid for this package where you get 2 drinks and then you get to choose a meal, and I just thought that my breakfast was really unique. There was another egg, I've already eaten it. Basically it's bacon with eggs on top, and then you can just cut it up like that, and then they've given me a bunch of bread and you can just pop it on there and eat it like that. I don't know, I just thought it was a bit different to at home. So we have come on a day trip today to Revenge, which is another little town on the Istrian Peninsula. We were honestly trying to decide whether to stay here or Pula, but we love it here. It's so, so nice. The streets are all so beautiful here. The houses are really colourful, and we went for a nice little drink at this cute little hidden gem. Basically it was a little hidden bar. You sit on stools and it had the most beautiful view of the water, and then we stumbled across this little beach and had a swim. But when we were having a drink it was actually really cool because Braden got in contact with some of his family who he's got over here, who honestly we have never spoken to before, but we got given some of their phone numbers and we didn't know if they'd even speak English. So Braden just called the number to try and get in contact with them without them even knowing that we were going to call them, and turns out they couldn't speak English, so we had to have a conversation via Google Translate where Braden would write something and hold the phone next to the other phone, and we managed to have a conversation, and we're going to go to their place for coffee tomorrow. So let's hope that the translation actually worked and they know that we're turning up at 9 AM because we have their address and that's what we're doing. But it was very, very funny honestly watching Braden do that, but he did a good job. What was it that you had to keep saying? One moment.
I said it once. Uno momento.
Uno momento. Alright, so it's now a new day. I don't even know what you could really pick up from what I was saying yesterday when I was vlogging out in public, because I feel like when I film in public I get really shy and awkward and then I don't even know what I'm saying. But we are meeting up with one of Braden's family members today. We're honestly not sure how Braden is related to her. We think it might be Braden's grandpa's cousins maybe, we're not 100% sure, but we just got the number to some of his relatives over here and we just thought it'd be really nice to meet up. Yeah, learn a bit about the family history. As your mum said, you're the last hope for finishing the family tree. Braden's gonna give them a little ring now and just see if they're all good to meet up. But we have hired a car today, by the way. We went and picked that up this morning, and honestly it was so nice just driving here. It was about an hour's drive from where we're staying and the view was really, really scenic, and we thought that if we have time, depending on how the day goes, we might do a little road trip to Slovenia and go to Lake Bled. I really, really want to do that, and it's not really that far away from Croatia, or from the top of Croatia, which is where we are staying in the Istrian Peninsula. But yeah, we just thought we might as well since it's not that far, but I guess we'll just see how we go. So, do you want to give her a ring?
Yeah.
Possiamo venire davanti al tuo? Hai un parcheggio?
See?
So that didn't end up being completely successful. We ended up standing outside the front of the house because we had the address and we thought she knew we were coming, and then nobody came downstairs. And then, well, someone was outside and we were like, oh, maybe this is her. And the lady was like, no, basically, it's not me. So then we tried calling her again, but then it was just really hard to translate. So, yeah, that's it. Unfortunately, we couldn't figure it out. Now we're just having a walk around the streets of Pazin, which is where Braden's grandfather's from. So it's quite nice to just have a look around anyway. And it's a very beautiful little traditional town. And then we're gonna get started on our road trip to Slovenia, which I'm really, really excited about. So we are well into our trip to Slovenia. We've already stopped off at Ljubljana, and I'm so happy that we went there today because every single Friday from March until October they actually do like food markets where a bunch of different chefs from all of Slovenia come together and they do little food stalls, and it was so nice. Our friend Sam was actually the one who told us about it, and he was like, you have to go there on a Friday if you go. Luckily it actually was, and so it was really nice. We just sat around in the square with like our food, and it was just a really nice atmosphere, wasn't it? It was really nice. It was like music playing, we got a paella and like this beef, like pulled beef on top of chips with like chipotle sauce. It was really good. So we really enjoyed seeing that, and now we are almost at Lake Bled. We're here. You can hear the bells. We're just doing a little walk, and honestly the view just keeps getting better and better the closer we get to the little island in the middle with the castle. I need to figure out what that's called. Obviously this is Lake Bled, but like surely that little bit, like the iconic bit, has a name. You can actually hire like little boats and stuff if you want to, and like row out there, which I thought could be quite cute if we have time. And there's also a castle to go and see as well. And there's also like a little area where you can go swimming that's completely netted off, which I don't think obviously we'll be doing. But yeah, worth noting, you could definitely spend a long time here. There's also places that you could stay. Like, it is beautiful. I feel like you
could definitely do a whole day.
Oh, you could do so much here. I think like there's so much to do just in like the Bled area, not just like at Lake Bled. This is the view. I also feel like it's smaller in real life than what you see in the pictures. Or obviously like the pictures are correct, but it just looks a bit smaller in real life. We've come up to the castle, to Bled Castle, and I feel like the view is insane. Like you can see everything so much better. Like very panoramic, really, really good. There was like a walk you could do from down there that took 20 minutes to walk up here, and we're like, no. We're like, we need to be quick because it's a bit of a drive home. So we just drove here. But yeah, just a tip, if you don't want to walk up, you can drive. Hello from Split. We are now at the next destination in Croatia. We arrived in Split a few hours ago. We've had a bit of an explore, had lunch, had a nap because we really needed it. We had an early flight this morning. So yeah, I think we've hit the 2-week mark of our trip and we're like, we need to just like let ourselves rest. I think, yeah, the big drive yesterday and everything just kind of caught up with us. But I feel like that's the most important thing when traveling. Like you need to schedule in time so you can actually rest, like rest days. And today, Split's just like a port, like there's so much to see here, but I kind of thought like honestly it'll be a bit of like a rest time before we go to Hvar tomorrow, but it's like 4:30 now, so we're gonna go out and do a little bit more exploring, get dinner, gelato. I really want to get some gelato. There's so many nice places it looks like to get ice cream here, and it's also super warm, like super warm here. We've come to this beautiful spot for dinner, and honestly, it is stunning. This is the menu. It's very much like pizza, pasta, and I feel like compared to a lot of the places that we've been, like, this is pretty good, honestly, especially with a view like this. This pizza is literally huge. I got the 4 cheese, Braden got a margarita. Looks so good. I've noticed they don't really cut up your pizzas over here as well. So, I don't know why, but we're gonna get to work and cut our pizza, Braden. Our stay in Split was very short and sweet, but we are now gonna head to the port to go to Hvar. I'm really excited for Hvar. I've heard really, really good things about it. I have a feeling it's gonna give me similar vibes to Milos. I don't know why. I just feel like with the swimming and I don't know. We have checked into our hotel in Hvar and it is so beautiful. I really recommend where we're staying actually if you're planning on coming to Hvar. I feel like it's always really helpful when people actually say if they've had like a really positive experience and if it's in like a good central location, but this was so easy to get to and I just feel like this is like where it's all happening and it's a really nice resort, and I also wasn't too expensive. Like I think we paid 300 euros for two nights, but it includes breakfast and like it's a beautiful resort. Like we've got a pool, we've got seats, and we also got upgraded to the sea view room, so that's really nice. But first impressions of Hvar, we love it. I think we're gonna have like a much more of a slower pace here and just really relax, because every single day I feel like we've had things that we've wanted to do. Like Braden and I are so guilty of when we go on holiday of being like, oh, but we could do this, we could do that, and we feel like we have to kind of be really busy, but you don't actually have to be doing things all the time. And I think it would be really nice to just enjoy the sun here and just relax by the beach. We just did a big walk from our hotel along like the coastline and it was so nice. There's so many great swim spots, places that you can hire day beds, although I don't think we'll do that because that seems quite expensive, but like you can just pop a towel on the ground and then just go swimming from there. But let me show you the view. This is what you can see outside our hotel room. So nice. There's like a really big pool down there with like a bunch of chairs surrounding it and a bar, and then straight opposite down there they have the beach, and then I think it's 30 euro each to hire a chair. So honestly, if you're gonna be there all day, I think it's worth it, but like it's kind of pricey if you're not there all day. So we've got 2 full days here in Hvar. I think today we were pretty much gonna just relax, and then tomorrow we were thinking of hiring a boat. We don't know what we're gonna do, if we're gonna do a tour or like get our own boat with a skipper or something, but it just would be so nice. I know there's like lots of places you can see. I also really like the idea of doing a boat tour because you can visit the island of Vis, which is where they filmed some of Mamma Mia 2. And you know I love my Mamma Mia, so I thought that could be quite a fun idea if we feel like doing that, but we'll see. We just got to work out like what's best. But I think for now we're just going to get changed into our cozies and then just make the most of being at the beach. So today we are doing a tour from Hvar and I'm so glad we did this. We've been to the Blue Lagoon, the Green Cave, we've also gone to the island of Vis, and I'm just so happy that we're here. Like I did not realize that we were going to be doing half of the things that we're doing right now. So if you guys didn't know, Mamma Mia 2 was actually filmed on the island of Vis, and I thought we were just going to be going to the beach on Vis, which we did do, which is like a very famous beach. It was so nice. We had to swim there and it was all pebbles. But we actually went for lunch as well on the island of Vis, which I didn't realize we were going to be doing. And you literally get to go see like the area where they filmed one of the scenes from the movie, and there's so many other spots on the island that you can go and see where they filmed the movie. And I'm so happy. I love that movie so much, and it's just really cool to see it with my own eyes and actually be here. So we're just walking around the town now and hopefully we'll spot some places where they filmed parts of the movie. And it is just Mamma Mia 2 that they filmed here. Mamma Mia 1 was filmed in Greece. We are on our way to the best buffet breakfast, like one of the best ones I've ever had. It was amazing. Yesterday we were in a bit of a rush though because we obviously went to the boat tour, so we didn't get as long just to like sit and make the most of it. So today we were like, okay, we're getting up early and we're gonna go and make the most of the buffet. Like they had so much. They had like an omelette station, they had crepes, it was great. But we're leaving today to go to Dubrovnik, so we're gonna try and do that and do a quick walk before we get the ferry. We are literally the only ones here. I don't know if it usually gets busy, but we've just come and done the fortress hike, which is, I guess, like the biggest hike you can do probably around here. It has some amazing views. You can see the town, and they said to come here at sunset, but because we did the boat tour we went back in time. But it's literally so nice today. Probably best to do first thing in the morning as well before it gets too hot, because it is like a bit of a hike with lots of steps. Like it's true what people say when they say there's so many steps when you come to Europe. This is what you can see of the town. I feel like Dubrovnik is going to be like this but on an even bigger scale. I'm just obsessed with like the whole architecture around here, like with the orange roofs and stuff. It's just so stunning. So I was right in thinking that Dubrovnik would look similar but on a bigger scale, because this is it. We actually arrived and got straight into doing a Game of Thrones tour, which was so good. I really recommend it. We recognized a lot of the spots from the show, and we actually had dinner in the street where they filmed the shame scene. So that was a really fun start to our few days in Dubrovnik. Good morning from Dubrovnik, our last stop in Croatia, and this is our last day. We actually arrived yesterday and we had a bit of time to explore yesterday, so I did do a little bit of vlogging, but I just didn't talk to the camera. But you will have seen that we went and did a Game of Thrones tour, because King's Landing was actually filmed here in Dubrovnik. It's incredible. I'm so glad we did that tour. We booked it very spontaneously last minute and it just was so worth it. We had like little headphones when we were walking around and we could hear everything our tour guide was saying. She was lovely, she spoke amazing English. It was just so cool. She also had like photos of all of like the different scenes that were filmed in different places, and the iconic Walk of Shame scene was filmed here as well. We actually had dinner last night in the street where they filmed the Walk of Shame. It was also so cool to hear that so many locals were involved in filming it, which I had no idea. Like apparently in that scene where they did the Walk of Shame, they actually had a bunch of locals participate in it, and their criteria was that they had to have people a certain height, because a lot of the cast in Game of Thrones is actually quite like average height, so they didn't want obviously like the extras to be towering over them. So when they put out a casting call, they were like, we need everyone to be quite like small, and they couldn't have any tattoos, and they had to have like natural hair. They couldn't have had their hair dyed. I thought it was really interesting, like just like little things you don't think about. And then yeah, apparently like they wanted them to start like shouting and swearing and stuff in English, but obviously none of them knew it, so they had to do it all in Croatian. But then I think they had to like audio dub it afterwards. But anyway, there was so many like little random fun facts we found out. We love the show. Like we watched Game of Thrones a couple of years ago. I think it was actually not long after our last Europe trip, because when we went over to Europe last time, we went to Iceland and we saw some spots from Game of Thrones and we were like, okay, we need to watch it. So it's very surreal being here and seeing where it was filmed, but obviously it's not just where King's Landing was filmed. It is obviously an amazing city as well. There's so much history here. But let me flip the camera around, because we're staying in this beautiful little accommodation, and I honestly don't think I could have picked one with a better view. It is insane. I kind of wish we had some coffee so we could have sat out here this morning, but look at this. This is like insane. I've had Dubrovnik on my vision board and on my like little Pinterest board for ages, so it's really cool to be here. So beautiful. And you can actually get a boat over to this little island over here, which we're thinking of maybe doing today. Apparently it's like a 25-minute boat ride and they have them pretty regularly, and it's full of like peacocks on the island, and I know they filmed some Game of Thrones over there as well. There's actually only 3 entrances to get into this area, fun fact. So yesterday we were walking around just getting like lost in the streets, and I think we're gonna head back down there now and go and get some breakfast. We just had the most lovely breakfast, just took it very slow, and now we're doing the city walls walk, which I'm so glad we did actually. Like I feel like it's a very different view to what we got yesterday just from walking through the town. It takes about an hour and a half apparently to do the whole walk. I'm wondering if it does take an hour and a half though, or if that's when it's like really busy.
Yeah, true, that's just what we were told.
Yeah, we were told an hour and a half, but I feel like it might be a little bit less.
If you wanted to just walk through it.
Yeah. But I swear I keep taking photos of every single different angle being like, wow, this is stunning, but it's probably like the same thing. So I'm just about to start my Italy vlog, and I just realized that I haven't even ended off my Croatia one, so I thought I'd jump in at the end of this video and say I hope you enjoyed watching and coming along with me for a week in Croatia. I love Croatia, especially Hvar and Dubrovnik. What about you, Brayden?
Yeah, Croatia was really good.
And the Istrian Peninsula, like, I could just say so much about Croatia. It was amazing, and I would love to go back and spend more time at Dubrovnik.
That's one of those places like you feel like you've just sort of scratched the surface.
I really do feel like that.
So much more time there exploring.
Yeah, like honestly, everywhere we've gone, I felt like I could stay longer, except for maybe Santorini. Like I could have stayed longer, obviously, but I feel like we did everything there. Croatia, yeah, there's just so much to. Obviously,
even Milos, we did everything.
There's so much to in Greece as well, but I'd love to go back to Milos. Yeah, I think Hvar is just beautiful. The water is so clear. I really recommend it there, and I kind of would have loved to have a bit more time just to enjoy the beach, but you know, you've got to leave something for next time. And also Dubrovnik, like there are so many nice beaches there, and we didn't even get to swim, but that's okay. So we had a really good time, as you can tell, and Split was also beautiful, but I will say that I feel like we didn't really need too much time in Split itself, but it is a really good like place if you want to go and do day trips to like the waterfalls and things like that, but we just didn't have enough time to do all of that. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed coming along, and I'll see you in my Italy vlog. Bye.